this is the final straw that will break the camel's back.
The only thing I find remarkable is the interest being shown by Nigerians, particularly young people, in taking back their country. I'm not sure they can take it back, but in participating in the elections.
My apologies, sir. When you say take back or taking back their country, you know that many people need to understand what that means.
That's what I'm saying.
What does it mean when you say that taking
back a country is to take it back from political buccaneers and economic saboteurs. Taking back your country means taking your political destiny in your own hands. I'm not quite sure that is likely to take place here, but at least some attempts.
Now, Labour Party took their case to the court, and this could have been the only opportunity for them to reclaim their mandate that was stolen, according to them. But from what we are seeing right now, this is going to be difficult. And I'm sure they also know. Now, you heard Femi Falana, that is Fal's father, who just released a song, Mr. Yakubu. Now, the only opportunity, when I say it don't happen, the only opportunity to reclaim the stolen mandate seems to be bleak, meaning it is impossible for Peter Obi to go to the court and get the justice that he wants. He wants to be declared the winner. He wants to show evidence. It's not just going to work. Now, Falana, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, a seasoned lawyer, has decided to break down the impossibilities so that people will understand. So you, that probably you are hoping on gaining back or regaining your mandate back, this might not happen. Probably in the next 4 years, when the election comes again, Peter will be able to contest again. And maybe he will not be able to get it because APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, would have sat down very well, and they will make sure that the same that happened before he got sworn in will not happen again. Maybe 2027, as they are saying right now, that 2027, Peter Obi should come back. It will be the turn of the Southeasterners, the turn of Igbos. That mandate that Labour Party claimed was stolen from them. According to what we are hearing, it seems it has already been done, cooked, dusted, and they know the end result of it. They know that Peter Obi is simply wasting his time. Yes. Now, I want you to listen to Femi Falana and we'll speak more.
If the allegations are investigated as being demanded, who is going to arrest a candidate at this stage? How far are you going to go? The investigation cannot be concluded. If they are concluded and cases are filed in court, the cases will not be completed before the elections. So on what basis? Maybe people are just entertaining voters.
Whether they're diversionary or not, speak to the law, sir. And this is which I'm going to quote now.
Yes.
A presidential candidate will be disqualified if they have been indicted for embezzlement, fraud by Judicial Commission of Inquiry or Administrative Panel of Inquiry or a tribunal set up under the Tribunal of Inquiry Act, the Tribunal of Inquiry Law, and all that and all that. Now, do these investigations...
Where?
This is section 137, I believe. Now, do these investigations...
That has been yanked off the Constitution by the National Assembly. That provision has been removed. Today.
So these candidates don't run foul of the law based on the allegations flying about?
No, let's just get it clear. They are best suspects. What the law is saying now, the Supreme Court judgment in Atiku Abubakar versus Federal Government of Nigeria, is that unless you are convicted by a court, you cannot be disqualified from contesting an election in Nigeria. Because that provision was being abused. And the court has ruled. Unless you can convict a person, it cannot be disqualified. But if you just say, oh, he's been indicted. And what happened in 2006 was that the Obasanjo regime set up a commission of inquiry with a view to disqualify Atiku. And so a white paper was hurriedly issued. And then I think from Abia, Governor Ojikalu, also issued his own white paper against Yaradua. And it was at that stage that the Supreme Court said, no, this joke is being pursued to a rather ridiculous extent. In Nigeria, nobody shall be disqualified from contesting election unless there is a conviction by a court. That's the law today.
So the candidates are clear?
Yeah, the National Assembly members then decided to remove that provision of the Constitution. And that is what I mean. So for me, the beauty of what is going on is that the allegations and counter-allegations are directed at people I will call independent voters. In other words, no amount of allegations would dissuade members of the PDP and APC from voting for candidates of their choice. So for me, I think voters who have not made up their mind are being requested, as it were, to weigh these allegations and see whether they will be inflamed. But as far as the law is concerned, it is too late in the day. One, you cannot disqualify a candidate if you do not file your pre-election case 14 days after the primary election of the political party. Again, the courts have ruled on that. Secondly, if you are not a member of a political party, you can't go to court and urge the court to disqualify a candidate.
So all of the talk around the SPVs and the allegations and all of those things, people going to court, they are dead on arrival?
No, they're dead. Now, before the election, some of the cases, you are going to be battling with service of the process, originating process. And I'm saying, if the cases are listed at all, they are not going to be concluded before the election.
But for whatever it is worth, what is the place of SPVs as legal instruments to execute businesses within the Nigerian civil service or government space?
Now, the laws are very clear on these allegations. Yeah? But I think what you're asking is whether.
Yes.
Anything can come out of these allegations and counter-allegations.
No. The question is, this so-called special...
SPVs.
You know, for me, I don't want to be drawn into making pronouncement on the allegations and counter-allegations. I can't. I will not go into that because I'm not a court. I cannot speak authoritatively, and I don't want to be accused.
But you could educate us.
No, you see, the first law, the first section of the Code of Conduct for public officers is that you must not engage in any action that will lead to a conflict of interest. That's the law. So, if people set up companies, contrary to the provisions of the law, and what may interest you? Some of these cases were pursued before. Some of these allegations, petitions were written about them before. What happened to them? So the point I'm making therefore is that these politicians are either making this allegation because they know they don't go far. But it's either that there are no issues to address. So let's divert the attention of voters and subject them to some entertainment. But in terms of what you can make out of these allegations, the law cannot help either parties. It's only the electorate that will decide. And I think that is the purport of these allegations.
Now, the only person that can challenge a candidate in court after a primary election must be fellow party contestants. But once election is over and a winner is declared, it becomes by-election matters. The right person or persons to challenge the declared winner in court is your opponent that contested the election from another party. This is the right thing that Obi and Atiku did. Obi and Atiku dragged APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the court, and of course INEC. And as it is, there are a lot of innuendos, a lot of insinuation. We are hearing that Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not have the right to contest. They said he has criminal records. They said he is a drug baron and many other things. And on that premise, they are believing that at the beginning of it, he shouldn't even have been allowed. At the start of it, he shouldn't even have been allowed to contest for the election. And they said a criminal cannot be president of Nigeria. But according to the explanation, the legal explanation that you have heard, anyone that the court has not indicted saying this person is a criminal, if there are allegations, even if you think you have evidence, as long as the court has not ruled and said this person is a criminal, this person is the person that committed this crime. This crime is committed by this person. Once the court has not in any way done any of this, that person cannot be barred from contesting. And if the person wins, the person cannot be stopped until the court indicts the person. And in the case of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he was not charged for crime. He was simply indicted. And they realized that he had some money in his account that he couldn't account for. Not because he did not account for it. He did account. He went to the court. He presented himself. This is the direction that the money came from and this. But the court was not satisfied. Do not forget that it is the court that will now finally decide whatever you present to them. The court was not satisfied. And they said, Mister, you have to return this money because you have not proven beyond doubt the source of the funds in your account. And that is it. It was as if Bola Ahmed Tinubu was caught with bags and a house or bunker or garage or a place full of drugs and he's just commanding it. No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Even though he might have been involved in money laundering, involved in fraudulent activities, involved in whatever. All of these things have not been proven by the court that he is a criminal involved in drugs. That is what people don't know. People are saying he was taken to the court for this. But when they went through the whole proceeding and everything, they said, okay, from what we have investigated and from what we have seen, you have money in your account that you cannot prove. But they did not tag him 100% a drug baron. Although people might say, okay, he has been indicted. There are cases surrounding drugs and all of that. If not, you think if Bola Ahmed Tinubu was charged in the courts in the US, he will not be serving time in jail? Did he ever serve time in jail in the United States? Or will you say they bribed because of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? That's why he didn't serve time. He only returned some huge, I think about $500,000 or thereabout, or some amount of money that he had to return. So this is what Femi Falana is saying. Now, how do we connect this to Peter Obi Labour Party? And the mandate is simply clear. When you take someone to the court, Peter Obi said, we are going to dig into. We want INEC to show us the process in which Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been declared the winner. And that's it. End of story. And from this, they will begin to draw out references to his criminal record and why he shouldn't at the beginning and all of that. So this is very deep. This is very deep. But from the look of things, seems the opportunity to regain that mandate might be very difficult. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts as regards this one? Does it make sense to you? That is it. Now, people are saying, let us keep calm and wait. Let us keep calm and wait for the legal team of Labour Party, Peter Obi, to do their work. But from the existing laws, it says unless you are convicted by a court, you can run for president of Nigeria. Unless you are convicted by the court. If you are not convicted by the court, if you have been indicted, it is different. You are being charged, it is different. But if the court has not ruled, if the court have not said this person is a criminal, if you have not been convicted, you cannot be president. Now, was Tinubu convicted by a court? Can this be proved or not? That is it. Now, do not forget that laws also can be given personal interpretation, but Falana is not the court. He has simply interpreted. He is a Nigerian, and people should keep faith alive. If you think your mandate has been stolen, keep pressing and pushing. At the end of the day, you will see the light. Don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new here.